Hi there, Prairie Plant Girl here. It's June 19th, and as you can see behind me, I am using protection, crop protection in my garden again. I just took a covering off the peppers and opened up the greenhouse, and I need to take some protection off the tomatoes now. I've been asked when it's safe to put your plants out here in Zone 3, and the answer is never really. So we were supposed to get down to 4 degrees last night, and I have tomatoes and peppers. You see the peppers coming up there on the plants. There's tomatoes on the plants in here. Once I get this off, this isn't the best protection, but it was supposed to get down to 4, and with the staking I can't really do much better, so this is what they got. But the peppers had a whole harvest guard over top them with the hoops. Tomatoes are a little bit tougher anyways. And luckily it didn't actually get down that cold as they were calling for. The sun came out late in the day, warmed things up a little bit, and then it clouded back over to hold that heat in, so that was handy. But I just wrapped a harvest guard around the poles as best as I could here, just to try and protect them at least from cold winds that might blow a little bit. But it only got down to 8 Celsius. Wasn't actually necessary, but you know, in this climate you just never know. We've had frost this time of year, so I also popped some just crude cloches over the melon. Now this is that watermelon that shocked and died back to the roots, and then there's some coming up around it. So I couldn't cover them all with the way these trellises are, but like I said, it didn't get that cold, so it didn't wind up mattering in the end. And there's a cantaloupe, no, a watermelon under this one. There's a pretty big one there, but I managed to get it covered up. And this one had a cantaloupe under it. It's flowering. There's actually 2 plants there. This cantaloupe over here was broken off. We had just horrendous winds this month, and it got just snapped off in the wind. I've put some seeds in the ground. We'll see if anything comes up. You can see the nasturtium here has been on the windy side. It's looking a little worse for wear. The moral of the story is here, you're never safe as far as air temperature goes. It's soil temperature that I concern myself with more here. You just always need to just make sure the soil is warm before you're planting things out. You can look up the temperatures. Different plants need different soil temperatures to be safe for planting out seeds or keeping transplants from shocking. And that's what I look for more than air temperature. You can always cover things up, protect them from air temperature a little bit. Never put things away too well this time of year and through the growing season. You always need to have those covers if it's old bed sheets or harvest guard or whatever you have. Like I showed you, I had some cut off milk jugs that I used as cloches. You just always need to have those things close by just in case you need them. An overturned large like clay pot can work well too. Make sure if it's something that doesn't breathe well or blocks the light that you're taking it off when the sun shines, and just replace it again in the evening if you need to. You just always need to have the protection ready because you never know when you're going to need it. I got lucky this time. It didn't actually wind up getting that cold, but you just never know. So always pay attention to the forecast and have things on the ready in case you need it. As I was cleaning up these hoops, I just remembered I maybe should show you this. It's not exactly genius, but something that you might not have thought about is, you know, these plants were getting tall here. The garlic was getting tall. I had some stakes in around the peppers, and that would have been smashed by the harvest guard, or the stakes would have poked holes through them. So I had one hoop left that was longer and tall enough to get over the garlic, but not another one. So I just took one of the little clamps that I'd made to hold the harvest guard on to the hoops, and I just hooked 2 sections of pipe together to just extend this hoop a little bit. And I didn't need much. It's only probably 45 centimeters or so extra length, but it made the difference to just have this end raised up just a little bit more. One more thing you might want to start thinking about if you grow brassicas is looking for the worms. So these cabbage whites, I've been busy in my garden, and it's time to start getting their babies taken care of here, because these guys can do a lot of damage real fast. So I just hand pick them, get rid of them. I have purchased some BT this year. Thinking about trying it. I've never used it before. It's just my understanding is it's like a bacterial spray you put on here, and it goes into the leaves, and then the worms ingest the leaves, and the bacteria kind of eats them from the inside out. It's not very pretty sounding. When I try it, I'll be sure to be applying it in the evening, so most of the pollinators are not out. It's just affecting the worms, and then it breaks down fairly quickly once the sun hits the plants. So it's considered an organic control. These are my poor broccoli right here. These are new sets that I put out. These are the ones that have been out here with the flea beetles. They're starting to fight back. They'll be more susceptible, I think, because the worms will know they're a little bit weakened. But anyways, hand picking works pretty well for the worms. Sometimes they can get out of control and just get to be a bit too much. Another thing I'm doing this year is just trying to keep this bed of cabbage and cauliflower covered with netting. They don't need pollinators in there, so netting is fine to just leave up all season. So as long as it's working, then I'm going to leave it up. But it's good to just go through. Some people say a couple times a week. I say once they start to get going, it doesn't hurt to look morning and night. I was just looking to see if I could see any eggs, because if you see little kind of yellow white little bumps on the bottoms of the leaves, those are the eggs, and you can just kind of squish them with your finger. I'm not seeing any here. There's another one. Birds love them, and I've heard if you have chickens, they love them. I just throw them down. You can squish them. They can be really tough to spot because they blend in so well. I noticed some turnips are starting to come back in this bed. So the flea beetles must be relinquishing their hold. We've had some cool, damp days here this week. I do find that that seems to knock them down a little bit. I don't know if it coincides with the time of the year or if it's actually the weather, but might be finally able to win the fight with those guys now. I just opened up the hoop on my big bed of cauliflower and cabbage just to have a little peek, see what's happening under here. And with this damp weather we've had this week, oh, it doesn't take long for these guys to show up, does it? I just pick them off. Where'd he go? Usually there's a rock around, I can give it, there we go. That's what I do with those guys. If I have a lot, then I get a bucket of soapy water, or salted water works good too, and just walk around and plunk them in there. But for the odd one, that's what I do. So I guess I better get to looking through these leaves. I was looking to see if any of the cabbage moths had managed to get in here, but now I'll have to make sure I'm watching for the slugs too. They're a little easier to spot at least. Harder to keep out though. Cabbages are wanting to head up though. Starting to look pretty. I love the look of cabbage heads. But anyway, time to get hunting. Yep. You brought friends. Look at that. Well, I think I'll be here a while. One looks like a snail to me. I never find snails in my garden. There's a big moth, caterpillar there. This is under my netted part. Out you go. So, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.